Z made an announcement in his Discord server explaining that the update will be pushed to Saturday, and alongside that, he stated a lot of the things we were going to get in the update, some directly, some through polls that strongly hint at certain changes. This video will go over all the changes that Z talked about and how they might end up in the game. So, let's get started. The first change that we can expect is for Mahito to get his first awakening back. This was already foreshadowed after Z said he'd add it back due to controversy from him removing it, but there is one part of this that is a surprise, and it's that Joe Splitter is being replaced with a new move. I already discussed Mahito's awakening removal in this previous video, so I won't be going over that, but I will discuss Joe Splitter a bit because replacing it is definitely an interesting topic. Joe Splitter as a move is very underwhelming, but it's not like it has no place in Mahito's base moveset. The way Mahito's awakening plays is that it fishes for ragdolls with Joe Splitter and Force Grab, that he then uses to land either Domain Expansion or Idle Transfiguration, and confirm the conditionals for either the Super Awakening or a one-shot. Joe Splitter specifically serves the purpose of helping Mahito win neutral engagements instead of just relying on M1s, alongside Force Grab, though admittedly, it's not amazing for that purpose. The reason I say this is because of how the hitbox works. Joe Splitter's hitbox only activates at the very end of the move, meaning that if you're too close, you'll simply fight past your opponent, and if you're too far, you'll be out of range, forcing you to be in a very specific range that can be difficult to achieve with Mahito. People have proposed some changes, such as making the hitbox go for the whole move and not just happen at the end of Mahito's distance, but the bottom line is that the move is just kind of mid, though it does serve a purpose. Completely replacing it, rather than just doing some minor buffs, is a really interesting decision because he's once again scrapping something that already existed, like how he scrapped Head Splitter and previously Mahito's entire first awakening before deciding to add it back. If it serves the same purpose of helping Mahito win neutral while just being a better move than Joe Splitter, it'll be a straight up buff. If it's a side grade, and by that, I mean it serves an entirely different purpose, then that could go either way, depending on how that side grade works. No way to really predict it. If it is a side grade, it should be pretty much fine, since Mahito already has Force Grab for winning neutral, so I don't think him losing one neutral move would be a huge deal, but it would admittedly limit him a little bit, since Force Grab is just one move after all. And when it's on cooldown, he wouldn't have a move for winning neutral with outside of switching to his base, which costs Awakening. Awakening that is more valuable for Mahito than any other character, because he really needs that time to land his Idle Transfigurations. In the end, we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening. The second planned update has far less information, and is to finish up Mahito's Super Awakening. Honestly speaking, I don't know what Z means by this, but if I had to guess, it's probably some minor buffs, and maybe some minor changes to make it better. For example, Crushing Rushdown might get a bit more damage, so that it's not just a free combo tool, and Widespread Strikes could also get some changes, so that it's easier to hit, because of how incredibly easy it is to dodge, either by just dashing at the right time, or doing the guaranteed strategy and wall jumping. The third update Z is planned is a next early access character, who will have 3 moves and a special for the next early access. Now, I did make a video explaining who I thought the next early access character would be, based off Z saying that it would start with N. Though, to correct something I didn't think of previously, I didn't mention how the in-game name of the character could start with N as well. For example, if Z randomly decided to add Dagon or something, he could name him Nautical Terror in-game, or something ridiculous like that, and it would count under the character starting with N. With that in mind, there's pretty much endless possibilities for who the third early access character could be, but if there's any takeaway, the fact that they're getting added with 3 moves and a special means that they'll be usable on the get-go, and won't just be a punching bag for other players or a handicap, which is good. After those 3 messages, we get another from Z talking about new options for Black Flash. He left it up to a community vote between the original Idle Transfiguration Black Flash system, where you press twice, and a new Awakening Black Flash system, which is a dragged out attack that can be cancelled early by hitting G again. Now, from the votes and what Z himself prefers, it's pretty clear that we're getting the second version, and if what he said on it being nicer to control is true, then I think it'll just be better for Mahito as a whole. Not much else to say besides I'm looking forward to it. One other message from Z foreshadows a potential soda delivery service. Basically, instead of having to walk up to the vending machine around the map to get a soda, you can just get it. My only concern with this is people popping heals in the middle of a fight by ordering a soda, though that also might not be an issue, either because people would rather not spend money they could use on emotes for a heal, or because Z could tie it to the combat tag and make it impossible to use in the middle of a fight. Regardless, that won't be an issue most likely, and it should just make grabbing a soda a lot more convenient, so that people can heal up after a fight or something, or just have fun popping a cold one on Roblox. Finally, I expect that there might be some minor changes to Roulette. Nothing big enough that Z would mention them, but at the very least, some quality of life changes that would make some of the more disliked game modes better to play. This is because he asked the people to rate the game modes, and I don't think he's getting at public opinion for no reason. The rankings seem to put End of Journey as a hated game mode, First to 12 as moderately liked, and Brain Swap as a favorite among the community. What he does with this information, I'm not sure, and while I doubt there'd be any sweeping changes that would rework the game modes, I do think some minor changes that would make End of Journey less of a waiting simulator and more like a survival mode are possible. As a whole, there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff coming in the next update. A new early access character, a new Mahito move, and some other potential changes that can make the game even more fun than it already is. It's looking to be one of the biggest updates in Jujutsu Shenanigans, and while setting high expectations is usually a bad thing, I do think that we're going to get a lot of great stuff in the next updates. Anyways, that's all I have to say. If you enjoyed watching, then make sure to subscribe for even more Jujutsu Shenanigans content. I'm you eternally, and have a good day. Bye.